give birth to your son. Read.
And shalt call his name Ishmael.
And you're gonna call his name Ishmael. All right, we're gonna see who this Ishmael character is. Read.
Because the Lord hath heard thy affliction.
Because the Lord hath heard thy affliction. Read.
And he will be a wild man.
He will be a what?
A wild man.
So Ishmael will be a wild man. A lot of times, I'm telling you, when you read Genesis, the book of the genetics and the genealogy of where we all come from, you understand that this Ishmael, he was the forefather of a wild race. These men are wild men. Okay, now let's find out who this man is before we finish off 12. Let's get that. All right, real quick, I want to give y'all a quick book. This is called Who's Who in the Bible. All right, it's written by Comay and Browning. Comay and Browning. You want to get the one that has who's who in the Old Testament, New Testament, and the Apocrypha. That's the one you want to get. Okay. Let's read page 172 and go into Ishmael. Read that from the top.
This is the Who's Who, page 172.
Come on.
Ishmael.
Come on. Ishmael, son of Abraham.
When Sarai's Egyptian slave Hagar became pregnant by Abraham, Sarah's jealousy was aroused.
Come on.
Hagar fled into the desert.
So Hagar fled into the desert. Read.
But the angel of the Lord persuaded her to return. He told her that she would bear a son called Ishmael, and that he shall be a wild ass of a man.
Whoa. You hear what that said? Did you hear what it called him? If y'all have kids, y'all might want to earmuffs, cover their ears, but we're just reading Bible history. Okay, this is what whatever Edomite wrote this, he took it a step further. He said he ain't just wild, he's a wild ass of a man. Read that again. We just reading the book. Read that.
He told her that she would bear a son called Ishmael, and that he shall be a wild ass of a man.
So what does that mean? Ishmael would be a wild ass of a man. What type of man would do this? Let's read this one, the third paragraph by Jewish. Read.
By Jewish and Muslim tradition.
Now y'all gotta understand when these books, now that we can decipher, we got the spirit of discernment on us. We understand when it says by Jewish tradition, it's talking about according to the Bible. Muslim is a plagiarized version of the Bible, the Quran, right? And it's watered down. They added their own verses, but we understand that it was plagiarized. They plagiarized the Bible, our history. So it says by Jewish tradition and Muslim tradition, meaning biblical, according to biblical information. Read.
Ishmael came to be regarded as the ancestor of the nomad desert tribes.
He became the ancestor of the nomad desert tribes. Read.
Particularly those inhabiting the area from the Sinai Desert across the Negev to southern Jordan.
Now, where is this? The Sinai Desert, Negev to southern Jordan. Where is that? The Middle East. That's what it's going into. This is the Middle East. So this is for people that don't understand when they say, oh, how you know you an Israelite? We don't just only know we the Israelites. We know who every other nation is in this Bible. We know who the Chinese are, the Japanese. We know who the white man is. We know who the East Indian is. You understand? They're like, oh, you call yourself Israel. Yeah, but we know who we are. We know who everybody else is too, because we study. Okay, so these were the nomad desert tribes that lived in the Middle East. Keep reading.
The Hebrews considered themselves superior to these primitive and usually hostile desert kinsmen.
Oh, I like that part. Read that one more time.
The Hebrews.
The Hebrews. Who are the Hebrews? We are. We the Hebrews. That's our forefathers.
That's right.
What did we consider ourselves?
Considered themselves superior.
What?
Superior.
We are superior. Read.
To these primitive and usually hostile.
So hold on. It calls them a wild ass of a man. It calls them primitive. It calls them hostile. So whatever nation this is about to say it is, this is a very dangerous nation. This is a nation that the Most High put this spirit on them. And you can't change them. The way you want to try to change the white man, you're not going to be able to change who this is neither. Let's find out. Keep reading.
The Hebrews considered themselves superior to these primitive and usually hostile desert kinsmen.
So they might have been hostile and wild, but guess what? When it came to hand-to-hand combat, we were superior to whoever these are.
That's right.
Let's read. Let's see who they are. Read.
Descendant from the common forefather Abraham.
You see that? It was a descendant of the common forefather Abraham. Read.
The Arabs.
The who?
The Arabs.
Come on.
On their part, venerate Ishmael as their father.
You see that? The Arabs understand who their forefather is. It says that the Arabs venerate Ishmael as their forefather. It's written in their Quran. It's written in their history books. They know who their forefather is. They know when they talk about Ishmael, that's their daddy. That's their forefather. That's the pappy. He be the pappy. He be the pappy.
Pappy.
He's the pappy. So it says that the Arabs venerate themselves. Read that again.
Yes, sir. The Arabs, on their part, venerate Ishmael as their forefather.
You see that? He says that they venerate themselves, meaning they call themselves. We didn't call them Arabs. We didn't say the Ishmaelites or the Arabs. Mm-hmm. Even the white man. Even all the other, guess what? They themselves know that they are the Ishmaelites in the Bible. They know when they read chapter 16 of the book of Genesis, that's where they can find themselves. They understand that. That's where they can find their genetics in Genesis, their genealogy in Genesis. Read that.
The Arabs, on their part, venerate Ishmael as their forefather.
Come on.
And there is a Muslim legend.
There's a Muslim legend. Come on.
That he and his mother Hagar are buried in a sacred Kaaba at Mecca.
You see? So now this is saying that apparently there's a Muslim Islamic doctrine that Ishmael and who else? And Hagar are buried under the what? Under the Kaaba stone at the Mecca, where they go over there to pray and worship a rock. That's where they go to worship a rock.
So to make it Hajj.
Who does that? The Arabs. Mm-hmm. They understand. They understand all this history. It's the so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. We're the ones that don't understand our history. Mm-hmm. We're the ones that don't understand where we come from. Because we're not reading to understand. We're not reading to learn. We're reading to just say, oh yeah, I read the whole book today. Come on, y'all. We got to read to understand. You know how you know you're reading to understand? When you ask questions.